Buenos días, señoras y señores. Bienvenidos al último día de este encuentro internacional de bancos de desarrollo de las regiones de América Latina y el Caribe y de Asia-Pacífico. Continuando con las actividades, corresponde presentar la conferencia virtual Aprovechamiento de la financiación sostenible y la inversión a largo plazo para la financiación del desarrollo en las economías, a cargo de Yongfu Ouyang, jefe de inversión institucional sostenible de la UNTAC, que se conecta con nosotros desde Ginebra. Yongfu, ¿nos escuchas?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can't hear you, Mr. Yongfu.
Okay, Yongfu, Ouyang,
Yes, we can hear you now.
and trade and development. First, I would like to thank our lady for inviting me to this very important meeting. I will take a few minutes to talk about finance and development financing. My name is Yongfu. I'm from the UN Trade and Development UNCTAD. I will talk about sustainable investment for development financing in the World Investment Forum in Asia in October. We welcome all of you to join us in the meeting. In addition to this, we host a number of databases, including the Global FDI database, which covers all our member states, including FDI inflows and outflows. We also host the Global Value Chain database, as well as the investment policy database, including sustainable finance policies adopted by our member states. Basically, we provide analytical, technical support to our member states on investment and related policy issues. We conduct, the research on market trends and also the latest development in policies. And we also organize international meetings to facilitate consensus buildings on related issues related to international investment policy. Now, sustainable investment or sustainable finance has become a very important part of our work. We work in this area because we realize that in order to fill the SDG financing gap faced by developing economies, which we estimate at around $4.5 trillion every year, we have to mobilize the capitals through the capital market. And secondly, we would like to facilitate long-term institutional investment flows to developing economies, and also look into the role of development finance agencies, in this area, because the DFIs play a very important role in facilitating investment to developing economies through joint investment or by providing guarantees and other support. We work on these. Our work focuses on three areas. First, reorienting financial markets and products by integrating sustainability in investment decision making, and also in the development of sustainable investment products such as green bonds. And secondly, we try to leverage institutional investors, especially DFIs and public investors, to support their work in this area. And third, we provide technical assistance to our member states on regulation and policy making issues. So basically, we try to reduce, we try to help, governments and investors to mitigate sustainability-related risk and encourage sustainable investment and help finance SDGs through consultations and consensus buildings with our member states, and also by providing technical assistance in related areas. For example, we are helping some countries develop their taxonomies, their national strategies, and also standards, including disclosure standards, but also product standards, like the standards the standard for green bonds. We also provide advice on policy issues based on our research and analysis. Before I go into the sustainable finance market, I would like to talk a little bit about the global foreign direct investment. Basically, from this chart, you can see that in the last 10 years, global FDI flows has lagged behind the growth of global GDP and also the growth in global trade. In the 1990s, the world experienced a period of very rapid progress of international investment or foreign direct investment, which helped drive the very rapid growth and in GDPs and the trade. But in the last 10 years, the growth of global FDI have flattened, and it lagged behind the growth of global GDP, and as well as the growth of international trade. So, which means that now it is really a big challenge to finance sustainable development, especially the achievement of the UN global sustainable development goals. When we look at 2023, we can see that global FDI dropped to $1.3 trillion US. It's a very big drop if we compare with the peak of global FDI flows of around $2 trillion US that we in 2017 before the global financial crisis. And last year, global GDP decreased by 2%, international project finance decreased by 23%, and the cross-border M&A mergers and acquisitions decreased by about 50%. The one positive aspect is that we see moderate growth in greenfield projects, which means that we may see moderate recoveries of global FDI in the coming years. But I have to say that the growth in greenfield projects is highly concentrated in a number of regions, especially Southeast Asia. So it's not evenly distributed across different regions. So for most of the developing regions, we still see a very challenging situations in terms of global FDI inflows in the coming years. So while we see a decline in global FDI in recent years, sustainable finance has become a very important source for development financing. I'll just give you one example. On the screen, you can see that the issuance of green bonds increased significantly in since 2018, and the new issuance of sustainable bonds in 2023 reached nearly $900 billion. So it's not that far from the $1.3 trillion of global FDI, and it shows that sustainable finance sustainable finance products has really become a very important tool to finance sustainable development, not only in developed economies, but also in developing economies. By the end of 2023, the cumulative values of existing sustainable bonds reached about $4 trillion US. And the annual compound growth rate of green bonds reached 25% from 2018 to 2023. Green bonds have channeled much needed capitals into a number of sectors that are critical for the achievement of the SDGs and also the objectives of the Paris Agreement. Here you can see that the biggest recipient of green bonds and finance include energy, renewable energy, transport, green building, and also to a less extent, land-use, water waste, and also climate adaptation. And the developing economies now account for 24% of global issuance. And last year, Latin American witnessed very rapid growth of more than 70% in the issuance of green bonds, and Asia, and the developing economies in Asia. In developing economies in Asia, sustainable bonds increased by more than 50%. So we really see very significant and strong growth across different regions. It shows that developing economies are really looking into the opportunities offered by green bonds to finance projects. Institutional investors have also been increasingly, have been increasingly investing sustainably. From this slide, you can see that now sovereign investment funds and public pension funds are the largest public investors. Most of them, more than 70% of them, have set targets for investment in renewable energy, and also on the other chart shows that sovereign investment funds now invest more in renewables than in fossil fuel. And it had been the case in the last 3 years, since 2023. So we and also DFIs are all, have also have been also targeting renewable energy and other sustainable and investment areas in the last few years. So we really see transitions to sustainable investment across different regions. When it comes to policy making and regulation, we see rapid proliferations of sustainable finance policy measures. And last year, 35 economies, including G20 members, that represent over 90% of global GDP, adopted 94 new policy measures in the area of sustainable finance. These represent a 50% growth in sustainable finance measures compared to the year before. And among these measures, developing economies accounted for about 60% of new measures adopted globally. This shows that developing economies have become increasingly active in these relatively new policy area. It shows that countries and governments are really looking into would like to tap into the opportunities offered by the global sustainable finance market, and the governments have been making efforts to put the right regulatory framework in place. To conclude my my presentation, I would like to talk a little bit about sustainability integration framework for institutional investors that we published in partnership with ULAP Finance Initiative last year. This framework or this guide and provide a step-by-step guide for an integrated approach to integrate sustainability in the investment decision-making process by with a focus on public investors, including development finance institutions. Why we think this is very important for public investors to integrate sustainability in their operations and investment decision making. I think this has become very evident for the industry, but I would like to highlight a couple of reasons here. First, it is necessary for risk mitigation. If public investors, including DFIs, would like to mitigate risk, including the physical risk, transactional risk, reputational risk, and also financial risk, they need to really integrate sustainability and the ESG elements into their operations and the investment decision making. And second, it is important, for capitalizing on investment opportunities related to climate change, climate transitions, and the transition of the global economies into a green economy, and also to benefit from government incentives, in different countries. And third, it's important for market positioning, especially if DFIs or public investors would like to, to attract investment by ESG aligned investors, or if you would like if you would like to have access to developed countries, the market, for example, in the European market, it is important for public investors to really integrate sustainability in their internal operations and investment, and meet and align their operations with international standards. And by doing this, it can provide more financing opportunities, and also it can help reduce capital cost. So these are very important. And the last, I have to say that integrating sustainability in the operations and the investment decision makings of institutional investors is not as burdensome as many investors have thought. Our guide or the framework we published last year can serve as a very good a tool for public investors that would like to start this journey, and it provides a very quite comprehensive and quite straightforward guide for action in this area. It covers 7 areas of regions from strategy, internal procedures and policies, as well as investment value chain management. And also it also covers sustainability disclosure. So it covers all the key areas, and it provides quite straightforward guidance and the best practice examples for public investors that would like to integrate sustainability into their operation. By this, I would like to conclude my presentation. The message is really that UNCTAD would like to partner with all the financial institutions, including DFIs, to mobilize capitals to finance sustainable development, especially in developing economies, through sustainable finance and sustainable finance and related financial products. This is my presentation. On this slide, you can see my email. If you have any questions, or if you see any, if you discuss any subject related to this, you are welcome to send me an email. I'm not sure if you can hear me well because I don't hear any, any voice in the background, and I cannot see cannot see the meeting room. I hope everything is fine, and I wish you have a very successful meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yongfu. We heard you very well, and thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.